You glance at the time and your brain does that quiet math it always does. I can still make it. Then you look up again and it's like the clock moved without your permission. Your chest tightens, you speed walk, you start composing excuses in your head, and you promise yourself again that tomorrow you'll be different. Here's the pattern break. Being late is rarely about caring. It's about a timing illusion your brain runs automatically, especially under stress. By the end, you'll have a simple map for what's happening, a one-breath interruption that stops the illusion mid-flight, and a 2-minute protocol you can run today that makes on time feel normal, not heroic. Let's open a few loops and close them cleanly. The real reason you underestimate time is not laziness. There's a moment your brain silently switches from reality time to wish time and you keep missing it. You have 2 different timing systems and you keep listening to the wrong one. And there's a single sentence that collapses the whole spiral into one clean decision. The map is called the 2-clock map, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Picture 2 clocks on your wall. One is the wall clock, objective time, schedules, travel time, the outside world. The other is the body clock. How long something feels like it takes. How fast you think you can move, how much friction your nervous system predicts. The 2-clock map. Most people who run late aren't ignoring the wall clock. They're trapped in the body clock because the body clock speaks louder when you're tired, distracted, or slightly anxious. The body clock is optimistic when you want comfort and pessimistic when you want avoidance. That's why you can lose 20 minutes real quick on your phone and then suddenly believe you can shower, dress, and leave in 7 minutes. The 2-clock map. Now the loop you live in. You sense there's not much time, your nervous system spikes, and your brain does a protective move. It compresses time in your mind so you don't have to feel the sting of rushing yet. You tell yourself, I'll leave in a minute. You negotiate. After this one thing, you do a tiny task that feels productive but isn't on the critical path. Wiping the counter, answering one message, changing your shirt again, checking the weather you already know. Then you look up, and the wall clock has been doing its job the whole time. The cost starts as inconvenience, then it becomes self-trust erosion. Every late arrival is a small message to your own brain that your plans aren't real. Then it turns into identity conflict. You start thinking, I'm just like this, or worse, I'm unreliable. And then opportunity decays. You avoid commitments because you don't trust yourself to hit them cleanly. That's the quiet shame moment most people don't say out loud. You weren't stuck in traffic. You weren't ambushed by a crisis. You were in your home with the door right there, and you still couldn't get yourself out on time. You don't need shame for that. You need a better map, the 2-clock map. Here's what your brain is doing in simple terms. The brain is a prediction machine. It constantly estimates how long things will take based on memory and emotion. When you're calm, your predictions get closer to reality. When you're stressed, your predictions become biased toward relief. Either I can still do it, so you don't feel urgency yet, or it's too much, so you don't start. Both are protective, both are distortions. Your body clock is not lying to hurt you. It's trying to protect you from discomfort. That's why you can be highly competent and still have time blindness. The 2-clock map. Now the moment you keep missing. It's not when you're already late. It's earlier, when you check the time and feel a tiny jolt, and instead of acting, you soothe yourself with the story. That is the switch from wall clock to body clock. It sounds like, I have enough time. It won't take long. I work better under pressure. I'll just do this one thing first. That sentence is not information. It's anesthesia, so we don't fight it with willpower. We install an interruption that your nervous system can actually execute. The one-breath interruption is, wall clock wins. Say it on an exhale. Wall clock wins. That single line snaps you back to the 2-clock map. It reminds you that your feelings about time are not time. Wall clock wins. The 2-clock map. First micro-action. When you feel that jolt, name which clock you're listening to. Literally say body clock talking. That's not a label to shame yourself. It's a steering wheel. The moment you name it, you regain choice. Second micro-action. Do a 10-second body reset so your predictions stop being warped by threat. Drop your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Exhale longer than you inhale. Feel your feet on the floor. This tells your nervous system, we're not trapped. Under threat, your brain compresses time. Under safety, it estimates better. The 2-clock map. Now we close the loop about the 2 timing systems. The body clock tracks felt time, how long something seems like it will take, how much resistance you expect, how distracted you are. The wall clock tracks objective time, minutes, distance, deadlines. When you're running late, you keep asking the body clock for permission. Do I feel ready to leave? Do I feel like I can make it? And the body clock answers with mood, not math. The fix is simple. Stop asking for permission and start following the map. The 2-clock map. Here's the protocol you install. It's called the 2-minute exit script, and it works even if you're already behind, because it's not about perfection. It's about a clean pivot. The trigger is an if-then rule you can remember without effort. If you have to be somewhere and you catch yourself doing a one more thing task, then you run the 2-minute exit script immediately. Not after the task is the alarm, if then. Now the script, spoken naturally, not like a checklist. You do the 1-breath interruption, wall clock wins. Then you do the fastest environment tweak on Earth, create a launch lane. In under 30 seconds, you physically clear one path from where you are to the door. Move one object off the floor, put the phone face down, and place your keys or bag in your hand, not on a surface. Hand equals motion, surface equals delay. That's the tweak. Then you run the core of the script, which uses the 2-clock map. You pick one must and 2 maybes. The must is the one action required to leave. Shoes on, coat on, keys in hand, door opened, whatever is your personal bottleneck. The maybes are anything else your body clock will try to sell you as urgent. One more text, one more email. One more outfit change, one more scroll, one more sip, one more check. You don't argue with the maybes. You park them. You say, not now, after I'm out. This is crucial. Your brain doesn't need you to defeat distractions. It needs you to delay them. The 2-clock map. Then you do the final step. You make time visible with one simple act that takes 5 seconds and doesn't require any tool. You point at the clock you can see, or you visualize the wall clock as a big red line you must cross. And you say a second signature phrase, cross the line, cross the line. This phrase matters because your brain loves thresholds. If you can get your body across the threshold of the door, momentum kicks in. Cross the line. The 2-clock map. Now let's handle the part that usually breaks people. But what if I genuinely need to do the thing? Good. That's not a moral question. It's a sequencing question. The 2-clock map doesn't say ignore responsibilities. It says put them on the correct clock. When you're about to leave, your only job is to protect the exit. You don't need more motivation. You need a better trigger. The trigger is one more thing. The action is 2-minute exit script. The identity is someone who chooses on purpose. The 2-clock map. Let's make it feel like mind reading, because this is the exact bargaining your brain does. I'll just reply quickly so I don't forget. Then you get pulled into a thread. Or, I'll just find my headphones so the commute is better. Then you end up reorganizing a drawer. Or, I'll just top up water. Then you wash a cup, then you wipe the counter. Then suddenly you're cleaning because cleaning feels controllable and leaving feels exposed. Notice that? That's the protective function. It's not that you love being late. It's that leaving on time requires committing to reality, and reality has consequences. Being almost ready feels safe. That's why this is actually protection. Your brain uses small tasks to keep you in the comfort zone a little longer. The 2-clock map gives you a safer way to exit without forcing a fight. Wall clock wins. Cross the line. The 2-clock map. We also close the loop about the silent switch you keep missing. The switch is when you start behaving as if time is flexible. It shows up as micro delays, sitting down for a second, opening a new tab, checking the mirror again, sending one extra message. Each one is tiny, and that's why they're dangerous. They don't feel like choices, they feel like drift. The 2-clock map turns drift into a decision. Am I following the wall clock or the body clock right now? That question alone pulls you back. The 2-clock map. Let's add one more micro action that makes this stick without willpower. The pre-commitment phrase. When you know you need to leave soon, say, next time I stand up, I leave. That's it. Next time I stand up, I leave. It's a commitment to a movement, not a mood. Your brain is more likely to obey movement rules than emotion rules. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to stand. The 2-clock map. Now, what changes by the end of this install isn't that you become a robot. It's that you stop treating time as a negotiation. You stop letting the body clock run the meeting. You become the person who can feel resistance and still move. That is the identity shift. You become someone who chooses on purpose, not someone who tries to be on time, someone who protects exits, someone who honors the wall clock without self-hate. The 2-clock map. Let's return to the opening scene, upgraded. You glance at the time. The jolt hits. Your brain starts offering anesthesia. You can still make it. This time you don't take the pill. You exhale. Wall clock wins, you name it. Body clock talking. You clear a launch lane in 30 seconds, keys in hand, phone face down, shoes on. You pick the must and park the maybes. Then you say cross the line and you physically cross the threshold. You feel something subtle but powerful. You're not rushing from panic. You're moving from choice. That's a different nervous system state. That's why it's sustainable. The 2-clock map. Your experiment for the next 24 hours is simple. Pick one appointment, one meeting, one plan, and set a moment when you know you usually start drifting. When you catch the one more thing, run the 2-minute exit script once, just once. Notice how quickly the body clock quiets down when the body moves. Notice how much self-respect comes from a clean exit. If this installed something, share it. And if you want one upgrade a day, you're welcome here.